I'm back. Um, I don't know how I'll do this. I have a class in about an hour, so hopefully I'll get control of my character again before an hour, so let's go.
What are you doing here?
Also, by the way, I'm eating, so I'll mute my microphone, and if I have to say something, unmute it. So yeah.
Answer my question, Lycus.
Another hero has arrived at the Vortex. I can no longer remember how many times this has happened. The author of each epic, as the prophecy has foretold, stays their pen at this point. Just like each cycle of the extrapolation, in accordance to their primordial design, ends here. No need to panic, Lord Farnon. I stepped into this space purely for one purpose: to witness the prophecy's miracle of Genesis.
You've never expressed interest in the Flame Chase journey. When my companions and I ran, bled, and sacrificed for the core flames, you never so much as lifted a finger. An indifferent observer. An anti-Catheran who's neutral till the end. Why would you suddenly express concern for the Chrysos heir's mission?
When that lone swordmaster left everything behind, plunging into a sea of madness, I was on the shore, listening. When that mighty lord shed his armor, filling the crevices of the earth with his iron bones, I was on the mountaintop, gazing down. Across 1,000 years of the Flame Chase journey, I have witnessed the ardor, resolve, division, and unity of the Chrysos heirs with mine own eyes. Just as you were all born to shoulder the guidance of the prophecy, I too have bathed in the gaze of distant stars, have seen the deepest, darkest of destinies. I will become the most loyal reader of the epics, a spectator voraciously consuming the valorous deeds of you heroes.
Gaze of distant stars.
One day you will understand, but not now. At this moment, please disregard this observer and finish what you must, Lord Farnon.
I once believed that as long as I chased the flames relentlessly, the fog before me would clear, and fate would reveal its truest form. But along the way, they, all who passed, never once received the justice promised by the prophecy.
I have perceived. Outside the vortex, the world is collapsing, and the children of humanity are crying. But you, Lord Farnon, will bury the old world with that core flame, bringing all things into a gray unknown.
It doesn't matter. This cruel flame-chased journey has made me abandon my fantasies. The future is not a paradise with a gentle west wind, waiting for us to step in. If what lies ahead is a mass of chaos, I will tear it apart, then usher in the first ray of blazing sunlight.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle. Such is the will of fate. Yet this time, will an epic with endless cycles.
Is it you?
Unfortunately, I know who this is. This what I got spoiled on just by going on Hoya Lab for my daily check-in.
Turn a new page.
Of course. This will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right?
Be grateful for all this clamor.
I was like
That is the sound of
7
thoughts
minutes at the end.
clashing.
Oh, I couldn't have known that. Finance Smith. It was Mightymo standing here. He would be wiser and more capable than me, right? The Raglaya departed, these words couldn't stop going in my head. It was something I couldn't escape from, and also something I absolutely refused to utter. How could I be worthy of my comrades' and allies' trust? What right have I to stand upon her shoulders and guide others? These questions remained unanswered, but there is no time for doubt. The first enemy the Dawnmaker must vanquish is the hesitation and sorrow that have shadowed me this far. That's why I resolved to aid you during your return, even if it's incomprehensible. Even if this means I must impose my will on you, I have to see it done. Because the promise of the Era Nova is unclear to you who came from beyond Amphorius. Its influence cannot be predicted. After I cleanse my doubt, I find that this is the right decision, born from the depths of my heart. The prophecy claimed that only one person can reach the final end of the Era Nova. Please forgive me for stealing your chance to witness the miracle. My friend, it's because of the prophecies made by Lady Treby that the Chrysoseirs made it to today. And so, even if we must face the scenes from the promised age, I cannot risk bringing you with me. Thinking back, maybe the only thing I did right in this life is choosing to trust you and becoming friends with you all. I faintly feel that perhaps the greatest miracle of Amphorius isn't so much the secrets hidden within the vortex of Genesis, but rather that this instant you and Danhang descended from the sky. You are the hero of my heart, Kalos. If the next life comes to pass, no matter what I become, I will make sure the world remembers the miracle of the Trailblaze. But I mean, if you don't have proof of my solitary decision and plans to create a new path for myself, with myself, toward a future that no one could imagine, you'll always find a way to break the rules, right? Rules are made to be broken, after all.
I suppose I can just ignore this.
Yeah. Damn. Oh. How did we get this? Everyone, the train that entered Amphorius is still out of contact. Mars 7's condition also seems to be getting worse. Can you read this message? Himeka, Welt, look at me. Can you read the messages I sent? How's the situation on your end, Welt? Things are going well so far. Hertz invited Skrulam to assist us, and we had a detailed chat in the seclusion zone. Both geniuses contributed with their knowledge. We're now closer to clearing up the mystery surrounding Amphorius. However, there's a lot of unexpected information. It's hard to explain everything in a text message. I'll send you the meeting notes as a video right now. Understood. Can I watch if I go to the space station? Help me out, Space Anchor. I want to head to the space station and check the meeting records too. Okay. Stop with the silliness. Oh wait. Is it reasonable to say that all railways are no? I didn't mean that. I meant all Chrysospheres. Is it reasonable to say that all of them are dead now? Because suppose Hyacinth is away from all of this, so she could still be alive. No?
In Dolos' suburbs, in a tiny weaving workshop, the silk-weaving old woman busies herself within as her smart child wanders outside on a whim. The silk pours from the loom, some bright as the dawn, some dark as the night. The woman had lived her whole life in poverty, yet through her business, she never deceives.
Good child, listen to me. Never lie and speak deceit, for people like you only do to honesty.
The girl smiles and nods, but her heart is drawn to the boundless desires of the bustling streets. And the grandmother is unaware that her handmade white dress has been stained by the mud of conceit.
Madam, what is a bundle of white silk's price?
Sir, only 2,000 balance coins.
An honest price tag can only meager profit obtain.
If we keep selling cloth like this, we'll stay poor for the rest of our lives.
The girl complains to her grandmother while sprouting countless plots and petty tricks. The woman smiles and does not reply, only weaving with night-shaded silk a suave hooded robe for her little spark.
Why don't you take some of our goods and go into the city tomorrow to try out those pranks?
The mesmerizing moneyed charm of Dolos City turns minds and tongues into a whirlwind of confusion. Even the girl who prided herself on sharp ears and a clever tongue could not contend with the myriad of shifting faces before her. She returns penniless and furiously seethes.
I vow to the god of thieves that I will eventually empty those people's pockets.
Smiling, her grandmother stops her silk work and offers some dinner with humble dish.
Silly child, don't let Titans hear such vows and promises.
Yet when the moon rises, a magnificent pin graces the old lady's pale locks. The girl smiles at the old woman, now stunned in shock.
I actually did return with some catch.
The brilliance adorning her white hair drew all eyes, and its proud original owner arrived to stake their claim. The bet that the girl won with a brilliant trick is described as a thief's loot through lying schemes. The old woman, in her panic, shouldered the blame, confirming a sin that was but a fabrication.
By Dolos's laws, we must also execute all her family!
To protect the girl, the old woman reveals the final secret unseen.
She's not my family, but just an orphan picked from the street on a whim.
People thought this to be a lie, but the girl knows her grandmother cannot deceive, just like how she always glossed over questions about parents and kin.
Your parents went to a city-state far away.
The girl never bothered to unravel the threadbare lie.
Stop! Stop right there, you thief!
Run! Run as fast as you can! Cyphera!
The lies overthrow the shop and tear apart the good woman's good name, leaving the girl with guilt and grief. The hearth of her home was a lie, doused by another conceit. But if her sleight of hand had better skill, would it have made that fire burn forever? The girl pulls down the hood and sinks into the starless dark.
I vow to the god of thieves.
And from that day, she never left empty-handed, her words woven with deceit. However, back then the girl did not realize that the people did not covet one simple pin, but the golden blood flowing beneath her skin.
Well, I'm glad that it's voiced now, I suppose. Reading all of those was a bit of work.
This world may contain thousands of ills, but the number of sufferers is countless, like ocean-going sails. The father and daughter who inherited the sky wander this land's paths, and throughout the cities, they heal the unwell.
Heirs of the sky who once reveled in martial might, why do you now soothe the world's blistering blight?
The doctor responds with a smile as he cures the injury's agony.
Father, why did our ancestors revel in warlike might?
Because they only have a sorrowful past of lamenting wails.
Then why are we here, soothing the blight?
Because we have a future that needs protection still.
The priest who parts dusk from dawn collapsed the sky and sealed her wings, and dwells in a place where time itself meant, bearing the promise to return to the Zenith Supreme.
This is the Twilight Courtyard's story.
And the father tells his daughter the tale of their line, next to the bonfire lit in the wilderness where winds pine. Though he had told this story many times before, the light in the girl's eyes still shines.
Maybe I will return to the sky one day.
Or maybe that is not to be your fate.
The blessings of the sky were passed down through generations of their heirs. The brawn of the Titan who molded stars granted a boon fitting and fair. Perhaps the girl with heroic blood in her veins will be accompanied by thunderbolts and the sun's merciless glare. Childishly, she recited the words,
Oh sky, heed my wishes.
and thunder and heat did not descend. She only saw a sliver of gentle, warm flare, wiping away mortal exhaustion and others' tired airs. What a gentle blessing. All said that she must be a savior saint, bringing light to the land, even if faint. But where the girl's eyes often gazed was the wine-dark sky, gloomy and bleak.
The god is also sick.
That grand longing to save the world may be no more than the girl's feeble dream. But her father treated it as his greatest treasure and taught her all the ways of potions and creams. That girl therefore always accompanied the gentle master of healing and repair. And she brought... Father and daughter often rested in the silent courtyard under the giant tree. Yet today, at that place, only one solitary figure can be seen. On that night, the healer spoke to a visitor throughout the night. On that morning, he bid farewell to his daughter for the first time. He will heal the ill at a faraway place where the end of days approaches and no family of his should follow.
You have learned the craft of healing and understood the blessing, but a light more radiant still is needed to heal the entire world.
The departed healer never returned, and the girl never left. And that rather lonely courtyard stayed silent as it was before.
But being able to see everything is the same as seeing nothing.
Okay, apparently this one isn't voiced. You can see the most delicate colors, the most distant contours. She can see the most secret desires, and through the most perfect liars. But being able to see everything is the same as seeing nothing. Countless mirages and cacophony surround her with stimuli plenty, casting her into another kind of blindness overwhelming. So she soaks herself in the bath, and lets her golden thread go beyond the palace. When the water drops on the thread, vibrate and shiver, she closes her eyes and listens to the echoes silently. She hears how a mother's feet were wounded for treading over too many stones, and she's soaking her feet in the hot water bath.
I heard that the Golden Goddess also likes to visit the baths.
She hears children playing next to the pools, and someone is saying loudly what we just heard. She is used to bathing alone. At the start of the hours of placid or parting, her golden hair spread in the water like a throne. like the scattered golden threads wrapping her again in a cocoon. Janus's holy maiden silently walks over, scooping up water to wash the weaver's hair, as if cleansing the bough of a laurel tree. That is when the one who sees the core flame finally knows there's no difference between a demigod and a true deity. The golden blood that congealed through divinity, only in this heavy heat can temporarily flow, and let this golden butterfly feel a fleeting warmth, just as she had once touched her own face. She falls the final tear her eyes will ever produce.
Teacher, I had a dream.
She recounts like a young girl on a whim. The sound of the water repels all disruptions in speech, such peaceful rest, such sweet dreams. She dreamed of how she was a naive, noble girl, ignorant of the world. She dreamed of the countless nights when she worked in the courtyards she weaved. She dreamed of being before the vine-covered temple, where the wind blew by in a violent stream. Lastly, she dreamed of the prophecy that she heeded, how the ancient sound came through the thousand waves, and could not be heard clearly in her dream. Do not stare directly into the future of your people, for that blinding prophecy will burn you all.
The dawn device is always glittering, and birds are always chittering.
The children of Akema like these kind of songs. Why not trust the promise of an era Chrysia unending, like how children believe in fairy tales passed down unceasing? But will the dawn device truly shine forever? Will the voices of songbirds not one day turn hoarse? In the golden bath in times gone by pierced her eyes, for she saw the all too dazzling future of everyone. That future was nothing compared to false promises. That is the price you must pay for listening to my prophecy. The gods have already determined her destiny and her passing. She knew, she has long known. The red-haired child appears worried.
You are aware of everyone's fate, yet never speak of your own future.
The child who passes along the prophecy understands that to lay such a heavy weight on one person, comparable to the dawn of the world, the world bearing Titan's shoulders.
There's only one future for silken threads. That is, to weave magnificent clothes for others.
She takes the children's hands, inviting them into the pools, intending to use warm water to wash away their concerns. Yes, before the toll of the bell that announces the hour, before the meeting to judge the flame chase begins, do not waste the rare good dreams, or the languid waves warm as tears. She mutters as destiny slumbers in her arms.
The one that wears this elegant attire in the future must bear the weight of the silk threads.
There are no swords here, only farming tools.
Facing the ambitious boy, the shopkeeper kindly explained.
Even a rake would do. Let its worth be judged by the verses I etch upon the earth with it.
Many days later, the wounded child stood upon the scorched earth, and silently he buried the ruined tool. For that was his first sword. And on the day that the black tide came, he broke the shackles of fate with that weapon true.
Let go of my beard, you white-haired rascal.
No!
Fine! You win, okay?
What?
That was the first victory claimed by the boy, a victory often mentioned in later years, and yet he never treated it with shame.
I understood something thanks to his beard.
The others hold their breath, waiting for his thoughts, but he only gives out one response.
The victor must stay focused, and success will come when you work on nothing else.
Those words became the foundation of his existence.
Knowledge is also a power used to smite.
While studying at the Grove of Epiphany, he etched this into his heart. So he devoured thousands of books, skimming through to glean the martial powers of might. But unenlightened wisdom is merely dust. And when the next calamity approaches, all he recalled is flight. Thus, his books are always worn into shreds, for each book was read endlessly till he remembered every detail slight. When first arriving at the holy city, he was no more skilled than a soldier, except his ambition.
Even the deliverer from the sky must have their beginnings in the soil of the nations.
The elders in the holy city scorned, casting him into barracks in derision. But none expected this new recruit of unknown history made his name in one mission. Some asked him, which teacher caused such improvement? He answers with countless names, including the Inquirer's own.
Only one who treats the world as their teacher can bear its eventual destiny.
Those with golden blood are bound to succeed.
The golden heroes are born as gods, beloved.
Such words echo in the man's mind, yet he knows glory is not where the journey begins. He misses the buried rake, worshipped the enemy with the long beard, mended his tattered books, and polished the barracks' dust-covered gear.
What forges a hero is not destiny from above, but the long journey that follows.
Now he stands here and looks back, and his past twists into a winding path. The long road to the sky stretches ahead. And towards the blazing white sun, he pens down Deliverance's name.
Still don't know his name. BBC is pretty close. Aglaya's is done, apparently. Me. I heard that before reaching the end of their life, the followers of Nestia would offer their most beautiful creation. What would that be for Aglaya? The future of the holy city? Though I haven't seen it yet, it must be just like Aglaya's other works. Golden, beautiful, and warm. Oh right. Kaelas, are all the other stories you've experienced on your journey the same? Always growing more serious, never feeling at ease? That mood's inevitable. I see. Then we must become the exception. After all, we promised to always remind each other to stay optimistic. Please remember that no matter what. In any case, I will remember all of this in my heart. After all, their stories deserve to be told and retold, right? I agree. Six, 7, 8. Five, 6. So we're almost done. Let's finish trivias.
I fear. How can mere mortals defy the gods?
I worry. How can mortal bodies reforge the world anew?
I suspect that the prophecy is simply a rumor.
Okay, this one isn't voiced either, so... The solemn council is still filled with clamor. Future's destiny still whirls in discussions of candor. To discard the city and save oneself, or to chase the flames that waver. None knows the choice that would lead them to a place better. The distant past, the distant past, the Holy Maiden
Hearken to the sounds that the doors whisper.
The Holy Maiden brought the first prophecy to all city-states. In the name of God's proper hope, she will give to humanity. Though she falls into confusion, she will bring guidance to this world in vigor.
Overthrow the gods, it declared.
The previous journey she will always remain aware. The Queen of Laws lifted the flag, chased the flames flare. The tripartite prophecy guided all the world's heroes, all who dared, and building a new world was their oath of yesteryear. The earth roared for them, the tides surged for them, the scales of destiny shivered violently, then slowly calmed. The core flames of the titans rested here, while the blood of companions congealed over there. The child led one hero after another to their end, but no end awaits her, no rest to prepare.
Teacher, do not hesitate.
The weaver of gold brushes aside the child's tears.
The world still walks on the path you indicate.
The prophecy still stands, even if the actors now different faces wear.
Restore the core flames, it declared.
The solemn council is still filled with clamor. Future's destiny still whirls in discussions of candor. Stop right there and seek peace, or to continue a work still unfinished. None knows the choice that would lead them to a place better.
Stop! We only wish to live life as it is, no more.
Cease! Our achievements already stand tall.
Rest up! We only wish to live in peace and prosperity.
The discussions today are the same as those in times past. Retreating now will forever deny us the future. The child has already conquered her confusion and fear. No longer before the mist of fate will she
Hearken
cower.
to the sounds that the doors whisper.
She travels through myriad passages, burning with determination to once again bring light to humans through her endeavor. The children fly into the streets, wishing to encourage their residents' faith.
Please, be not afraid. We will definitely bring you to a new home.
Lady Treaty, Lady Trianne, please, don't cry.
Do not worry. We trust you always.
The matron wipes away the tears on the children's faces. The praying ones piously bless them in faith. The lost ones take the children's hands, just as the prophecy guides their path.
There under the divine authority, it declared. Quiet Trinan has little to say. Lively Trianne loves to play. And well-behaved Treeby roams around all day.
The people's encouragement rings sincere. The Chrysocer's companionship lasts through the years, and Mother's embrace warms up every dream. Thus the child understands, thus the child accepts. Though countless farewells on her shoulders weigh, though destiny's blood dries like clay. There will always be passageways, filled with warm sunrays, that silently open to them, future and past days, and from them a voice says,
Forge miracles, it declared.
Okay. Try with Mighty, see if it's voiced. It was one of the first ones.
As always, to perceive the man's fury, one must do so 7,000 paces away. The Kremnos he guards is once again shrouded by mist. Rust, blood, and fire are the ceremonial ode to the demigod. There is no one to witness or to give cheers of glory. The final Kremnos festival goes on without end. The victor shall embrace death and silence, and his glory will only be remembered by the defeated array. For that man, laws and seals no longer have meaning. War and battle never cease for a single minute, each passing day indistinguishable, morning and night entwined. The corpses pile up, filling ravines, forming mountains strong. He carved time with peak's edge and counted the fleeting years by fires of war. Sometimes the lion would climb to the hilltop to look down on the world and search for friends in longing. The distant heavens and earth stretched vast and boundless, but their endlessness felt ever more remote. Like Nikador, he cannot escape madness's clutches. Guarding the city alone and embroiled in war, the murmurs of the black tide constantly sound in his ears. Yet a flame soars up his chest every moment, casting light upon the indomitable path behind him. Memories seal the echoes of the past as the man strides into battle, fists clenched fast. He is the wound this world must bear, the new king before whom old gods despair. As stated in Idonia's poems, humans are born with eyes closed to accustom to this world's light, and their sight fades in old age to reacquaint with night's anthems. But the man did not bow to the decay of time, rejecting the lure of death's call. With each return from the brink of death, his eyes burn with fury, fixed upon his foes, until everything suddenly faded away, like a surging black tide swallowing all into nothingness. The world dissipates in the roiling black tide's requiem. Even the lion will one day die, a departure with no way back. With a sudden fall, his pierced chest hits the ground, and slowly flowing into the underworld is his golden blood, departing his system. But that gaze, fierce as flame, never dimmed, not even in death, looking beyond those flame-seeking figures, reaching far toward the endless horizon. In the morrow sky, the stars will chant, "The lone king of Kremnos is called mighty. His journey was one of ceaseless, eternal warfare, and behind him, he left a world ablaze with glory."
I miss him, man. Miss him so much.
On the day that the grove fell, he accepted his defeat and demise, as if embracing truth and heresy.
Believe in Titans, and you'll have a happy death. Deny the Titans, and you'll have a fulfilling death.
Yet, as the lightened soul bids farewell to its heavy shell, a Titan made an untimely call.
Do not be startled, child of humanity. You have a final query in this world.
You finally came.
He does not seem shocked and lets the core flame take over his shell.
Be more punctual next time, if you will.
Upon his first meeting with the Titan, the blasphemer is already on his best behavior. And towards the suggestion to reforge his body, he paid no mind.
I have so kindly offered you the best body. So why do you insist upon your mortal imperfection?
The scholar replies in candor.
Only by retaining the various flaws can my humanity be preserved in rigor.
His form remains in the mortal realm, while his spirit walks the river of souls' shores. Between life and death, he fatigues. Dwelling in the child of humankind's thoughts and senses, the Titan cannot bear to remain a mere spectator.
Why not ask me your questions, child of humanity? I am rich in wisdom, and shall speak with no ambiguity.
As though an unspoken pact, the scholar asked the god about all things, feigning a humble quest for knowledge.
Do you treat me just as a way to answer questions? A mere machine?
The Titan got what they asked for.
You should thank me, for good questions are rarer than good answers.
Compared to the joy of a new life, the scholarly breakthrough carried home alongside death filled the scholar's heart with more fervor. He returned to the Scourged Grove many times, and the black tide followed. Despite his defeats, he never sought help or permission. But at every desperate moment, the Titan would eventually take over one half of his body. The union of man and God, a flawed and clumsy choreography. It happened but once, a perfect harmony. One man, one God, speaking in one breath.
Stop stepping forward at the same time as me.
The Titan once revealed the secrets of mixing life, a boon, seemingly a blessing, but full of malice.
What a tempting bait. But that's not my desired chalice.
Divine power is within his reach, but the scholar is not moved by that essence. This long and abnormal temptation is also a trial of elevation, where the sage can achieve all things, but shortcuts alone he abhors with silence.
I also miss Anaxa, but not as much as Mighty because I saw him more recently.
Teacher, in this tumultuous world, have you thought about your will?
It was just a joke, but the scholar, still at the grove, answered with extreme caution. He has much to say about his posthumous affairs, exhausting all, fearing the smallest omission.
Teacher, could it be that you fear death?
The assistant asks in concern. It was a question needed, yet he gave no direct reply.
Philosophy is the inquiry into death, and I have always considered myself a philosopher.
The assistant recounts all of the scholar's final wishes, each mighty as a mountain, asking what seemed impossible.
The tombstone must be made of my treasured rare stones, carved with Dromus patterns.
But that stone is a miracle of alchemy, tough beyond measure. No chisel could have shaken.
That's also his plan.
The assistant softly reveals the hidden plot.
He hopes that instead of shedding tears over his death, we will find it in us to smile, even in a moment of sorrow.
It's rumored that in the depths of the grove, the scholar left a teaching ingenium, imitating himself to the utmost detail.
Go back. The living have not exhausted their thoughts. Go back. The dead have no desire to teach their works.
The ingenium's words are cold and detached, like the deceased man himself.
But if you have no one to talk to, fine. You can sit and converse.
Now, the grove is no longer bustling, and the scholar has returned to dust. Thus, few in this world now know how he was also troubled by solitude in life. Someone once suggested,
perhaps your ambition should also find its place among your final wishes.
Pointless notion.
He dismissed in derision.
Unveiling the countenance of the gods is a task for the living.
Perhaps that is his haughty position. Such a melancholy topic, yet he insists on feigning a twist, avoiding it altogether. Perhaps these chapters should not be retained. Most are from the scholar's handwritten drafts, shown without his permission. Yet there seems to be a voice there in remonstration.
It's just the past. What harm is there in revelation?
Even in passing, his hubris still resounds in reverberation.
The smaller a thing is, the more it shows its weight. The more foolish my name is, the more glory my achievements will be in comparison.
I love him so much. Yeah, so excited.
If every single scar equals a coin, then the girl always pursued would be worth her weight in gold. Deception, theft, and night heists. But her nerves failed her when it mattered most. The girl clutches meager loot to her chest and escapes, muttering curses, bearing her pain.
We're head on. I definitely win next time.
She always longs for the coin of Whimsy's blessing and creed. Yet the coin in the air always suddenly disappears, as if in reply from the trickery titan. Day and night flow, and the thief star makes circles across the sky, while time molds the girl into an adult. The cloak once used to conceal her entire body now only suffices as a hood that barely covers her fringe.
No matter. These days, I have no need to hide.
With a confident stride and a silver tongue, her perfected fraud thieving every opportunity as a result. And at curtain fall hour, those treasure-seeking steps fade into the moonlight. When she appears again, her arms are laden with money's weight. What is the art of thieving?
Stealing from the poor. Not enough loot. Stealing from the rich. That's a boring task to boot.
The girl narrows her eyes of greed towards those called the Chrysos heirs. The golden vines of the sages' homes, the sacred carcass of the Deathward realm, the divine lyre of the seashore's pearl, and the crystal chalice of the thousand gates. The girl knows not the treasure's origins, only that they are all valuable beyond measure.
To have something priceless is the true art of thieving.
A pity the deceits are all eventually revealed, and the thief meets a rare defeat. A golden thread discerns her meticulous disguise, and the heroes hold down her third hand to imprison in this thief star made of human feet.
I take defeat with my head held high. Spare me your sympathy.
She frankly faces the accusations, knowing that escaping would be nothing more than child's play. So the Chrysos heir outside the cage smiles sweet.
Would you like to see my most precious? A treasure bride?
It is a dress, like the beauty god Nestia's divine body. More blinding than the sun, rivaling the moon in its glory.
It is woven by divine threads. It captivates even the gods. But all the lies and deceit are revealed under the golden thread's query.
The world-famous thief is stirred by such grand words into a flurry.
Then just you watch. This wondrous dress will forever remain in my own gallery.
I see. Yeah.
A good student who often did stupid things.
Was the assessment from the Lotophagist sage.
An excellent healer who fails at all scholarly means.
Was the assessment from the Nodist sage.
A shining child who also burns away her own life's rays.
Was the assessment from the Erythrocaramist sage.
A fool who was always wreathed in smiles, while drowning in a weighty and pitiful dream.
Was the assessment from the Nusporist sage. The girl had visited all the schools during her time studying in the Grove. She refused to become a scholar, despite her exemplary grades.
Instead of increasing this world's knowledge, I prefer to reduce its pain.
While the sages faced her words in silence, the new Sporist sage alone decided to hire her as assistant post-haste.
An apprentice who spends wisdom is more precious than scholars who hide knowledge away.
The faded twilight courtyard, long eroded by time, now shelters a girl, the sole heir of her lineage. Loneliness accompanied her days, till the sage of the Capriests visited her and brought her a chromatic pony with a grin.
It may be the Eye of Twilight's creation in times gone by, for it shines with the sky's rainbow hues within.
Could it be the warlike winged beast of her father's tales? But the sleepy and dreary-eyed pony before her was soft as freshest plucked cotton. The girl still took this gift, for from the little creature she smelled the scent of clouds distant.
If it weren't for her, I would have suffered more accusations.
The new Sporism sage says in admission. The scholars coming to deliver arguments and reproach often stopped before the door, not coming to fruition. For the girl before the door soothed their blazing anger like the soft clouds, gentleness in cumulation.
Do you know what sacrileges he has committed?
The girl muddles her answers, yet her heart knows in full admission.
Like you and me, he too wishes to heal all of this world's afflictions.
The girl treated ailments for many years in the grove, composing her medical treatises into tomes. When scholars seek medical help, she realizes with a startle that kindness too can grow into its own bloom. By that time, the twilight already lost their eyes, and the world drowns in evernight, while the girl and the healer again traverse the world in gloom. Seeing the golden thread and ivy in the night, though it has been long since she recalled her past, she once again thinks of her childhood dream.
Should the sun be dimmed by destiny's decree, then the dawn that heals the world I shall replace.
That she did. Cassie. Oh.
The two girls frolicked in the wheat fields, fleet as doe deer, making ripples in the shallow puddles and pools clear. As dusk approaches, the exhausted girls collapse over the wheat heaps, talking about their longings and dreams of literature, love, and a journey through a world dear.
Oh, Sky, slow your closing gaze. How I want to keep this moment in my hands forevermore.
On that day, the breeze was warm and gentle. At that time, death was soft and fair. The broken-winged butterfly falls by the window, bringing with it a scent of melancholy. The girl looks outside. The golden wheat fields rolled endlessly, stretching to the horizon. Holding to the chair, she tries to stand, only to find her legs trembling and feeble.
Don't worry, Pelixia.
Her older sister whispers beside her ear, and on her sister's shoulder, the girl weeps mournfully. And time thus becomes silent, painted with sighs only. When hearing the healer's diagnosis, the girl remained deathly still. Her eyes were already drained of tears, and her heart a wilted grave.
Every time she has something on her mind, she would tilt her head and look outside.
Her sister follows her gaze, seeing a barren field turned by wind into a desolate gray expanse. Till one day, when the girl looks outside, she sees a dash of dark blue, most brave.
It's a flower my sister planted.
Like the torrential river of life, it pours into the depths of her heart. The flower is called Antilla. Even in the Netherland, it's rumored to thrive.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
That seems to be its floriography. When the days are warm, the sister would take the girl on long journeys through the flower fields, gazing upon rivers, napping amongst the grove, a discussion hardy.
After I die, I want to become an Antilla flower and become the quietness in your soul.
A thoughtless word from the girl gains her a wrapping on her forehead most dainty.
Do not speak of dusk when you have yet to see the dawn.
Dew drops from the petals as wind pulls on the leaves, and the two of them sit in quietude. The girl asks for the means to tend to the garden, and while her sister sounds concerned, her heart is relieved. But the concern is well-founded. The girl tripped and fell into a mire. She gazed directly into the eyes of death in that dark pool, bottom unperceived.
I've been the weight upon my sister's wings. Let this be where it all comes to rest.
The girl gives up her struggles, only to see a figure pierce through the water's surface.
I won't allow you to walk through the dusk alone, or enter the night of no reprieve.
Her sister sobs without end, and the girl has to gently hug her and softly relieve. And then, this distant memory turns bleary, difficult to retrieve. The river of souls flows to the other side, wrapped in the land's night, broad, slow, an eternal and silent sight. It belongs to all in this world that has life, all of which flows downstream, converging as one. The master of the nether realm, Thanatos, enshrouds himself and the souls within the moon cocoon. The dragon, born from the cocoon, carries a girl, soaring upstream the river of souls, defying its eternal flow. Their connection flows tighter than blood, and the key that opens the netherworld's gates is the sister's selfish plight. Back then, the boreal winds cut through to the bone. Back then, death was a bitter and stabbing fright. In the Netherrealm, without an earth or sky, a flower named Antilla blooms, its beauty witnessed by but one soul.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
The younger sister scores through the blooming Antilla fields, never finding that promised dark blue sprig. She silently made up her mind.
Death, leave all your dark nights to me, and save the dawns for her.
The younger sister gazes at the moon cocoon high above and plans a trip to the mortal realm, a distant flurry. A bard once sung to musical notes.
Do not turn back. Oh, do not turn back. The long hand of shadow will retain the dead behind their gates.
The giant dragon born from the moon cocoon willingly offered itself as the enduring barge of the River of Souls.
No need to turn back. Oh, no need to turn back. That price had long been paid for you by someone else.
The dragon lowers its long neck and places the girl on its back. In slumber, she will unknowingly greet the dawn of her rebirth. The dragon flaps its wings in the chilly gloom of the floating dead upstream, ferrying from purity into grime, going from silence to roaring boom. The souls of countless poets flounder past, their distant rhymes endless like foams.
Do not turn back, for to look toward the land of mortals is in itself turning back.
In this pale dawn, the sun's first rays light the night ablaze. So the dragon crosses the sea of souls onto the shores of life and strands itself in the gleam. We know not where these stories arise. They are scattered across the shallows with the waves. The confession the girl made before her departure still echoes in the tide's heaves.
If there is anything for me to leave behind, may it find a soul to remember. This is the ode of my life, and I've already penned my last stroke.
Nice. Doing now? Whoa. Most of them are complete now. Just thing, Hyacinth, Fine, Cipher. And of course, Hyacinth, Deirdre, Irene, and one more person that I'm pretty sure we don't know the name of yet. Too many things happened all of a sudden. Farewells are always so abrupt, making it hard to say what's truly in one's heart.
Me, ma'am?
Since we have time now, if you had to say goodbye to me, what would you say? Just curious. I will always remember you.
Ma'am?
Oh, saying it like that, I might end up regretting it. That really should be saved for the final moment, shouldn't it? So, is everyone's story coming to an end? I always wanted to see a new story, but now my feelings are a little different. I really hope everything about them never reaches an end. Let's continue writing the rest of the story. I should be more surprised, but somehow I knew Kalos would say that. Then there's no need to dwell on it, no matter what happens next, no matter what you decide. Kalos, I will always stand by your side. We are the best of partners, and that will never change, right? Right? That was a whole lot.
Be grateful for all this clamor.
I need to go to class. So.
That is the sound of thoughts clashing.
I'm really looking forward to the next one and seeing more about Cyrene because
things are connected by
she
origin.
Definitely looks a lot like March, and also the thingies she had on her cuffs reminded me a lot of Nanook. So now I'm thinking, a lot of people have been saying that maybe Phainon is the Lord Ravager, but what if Cyrene is as well? Or another part, or I don't know, something to that effect. So yeah, really excited for the next one, and yeah, I'll be seeing you then.
All things are connected by origin.
Goodbye.